So Rassie has named a few minor changes to his squad to take on Los Pumas in the second last round of the Rugby Championship. This game is in Durban. A few changes from the squad that put that record score on the All Blacks in Wellington, and how that squad performed and the changes that are made to this squad now that's going to play versus Los Pumas. I don't see the Springboks losing this. I don't see Los Pumas beating this team at all. If the Springbok team goes out and performs how they did there, I don't see any team beating them, let's be honest. One thing we have noticed throughout this Rugby Championship is that team can play well one week and then not play anything near how they played the week before the next week. So that's probably the biggest thing that all Springbok fans are looking for in this clash, is just some consistency, some backing up from their last performance. And like I said, if Springboks play half as well or a little bit as good as they did in that Wellington test, no one is going to stop them. So we'll run through the team and we'll chat on some of the changes. So up front, we've got Oxenchair, Thomas Toy, Malcolm Marx, Eben Etzebeth, Ruan Norkia in the locks, then Siakulisi, Peter Stefatoy, Jasper Wiese, back row, Siakulisi, captain, and it's his 97th game. I'm pretty sure I read that. I hope I read that correctly. Then in the backs, we got Kobus Reinach, Sasha Feinberg, Ngumuzulu, Damien Dallander, Kanan Moody, back three of Ethan Hooker, Cheslin Colby, and Damien Willemse. I'm just going to run through my predicted side that I put out earlier last week, okay? So my starting was Oxenchair, Malcolm Ox, Thomas Toy. So that was 3 from 3. Erge Snyman and Ruan Okeer. Okay, so I had Erge Snyman instead of Eben Etzebeth. Then Siakulisi, Peter Stefatoy, Jasper Wiese. So that was correct. I had Kobus Reinach, Sasha Feinberg, Ngumuzulu, 9 and 10. Then I had Damien Dallander and Kanan Moody. So that was right. And then Cheslin Colby, Ethan Hooker, Damien Willemse. I just swapped Ethan Hooker and Cheslin Colby around. And going back to, so the bomb squad, we've got Jan-Hendrik Wessels, Born Venter, Wilco Louw, Erge Snyman, Kwagga Smith, Morne van den Berg, Mani Lebok, and Andre Esterhuizen. My bomb squad was Marnus van der Merwe, Jan-Hendrik Wessels, Wilco Louw. So I've got one wrong there. Then obviously Eben Etzebeth, swap him and Erge Snyman, Kwagga Smith, Morne van den Berg, Mani Lebok, and Andre Esterhuizen. I think I did pretty well. In predicting this side. So just chatting on the team. So up front, so the only change up front has been Eben Etzebeth coming in. Louw Diaga obviously injured. He came off quite early in that Wellington test. Looking forward to seeing Eben Etzebeth and Ruan Norkia go to work. I think Ruan Norkia he's the line-out boss, right? How he kind of dissected that All Blacks line-out. You just want to build off the back of that. Eben Etzebeth brings the physicality, the strong ball carries, and obviously that experience, that cool, calm collectiveness in the front row, or not in the front row, in the forward pack. Jasper Wiese, want him to just to keep on from what he did last week. Obviously, it was his first game, 2 weeks ago versus All Blacks in Wellington. It was his first game after serving his red card ban, and he was sensational. He was outstanding. He was just what the Springboks needed and what the Springboks were missing. Just that strong ball carries, getting over that advantage line and putting the Bokke on the front foot. That's what the Bokke need. And Jasper Wiese gives that to the Bokke with ease, almost with his eyes closed. He loves that. Then what I'm most excited about is this backline again, just to see how this backline goes again. So we've got Damien Dallander coming in. Damien Willemse moves to fullback. So Apelele Fassi was the injured one here, so he's out. So Damien Willemse moves from 12 to fullback, and then you bring Dallander in. So you've got Dallander and Kobus Reinach, the two experienced heads in this backline, or the older guys. Cheslin Colby also kind of around the older side of it. But to have these guys sprinkled in with the excitement machines, merchants around them in Ethan Hooker, Kane Moody, Damien Willemse, Sasha Feinberg. Very, very exciting. I hope Mngumuzulu can get a lot more minutes than he did in Wellington. Obviously, injuries, you can't tell when guys are going to get injured. He's obviously got through. I think he got HIA, and that's why he went off the field. Or there was some sort of injury there. I think it was a head knock. So he's obviously passed all of his concussion protocols, and he's back in. Very much looking forward to see how he goes for a longer period of time. And then you bring on Lebok. And like I said in my predicted team last week, the role Lebok plays from off the bench, where he doesn't have that pressure on him as the starting 10, you need to go out, be great from the start. He doesn't have that pressure on him. So you have Sasha coming or starting and taking the grunt of the game out of it first, almost showing Lebok how and what and where and why and when, and then Lebok can come on with a few more tired bodies to play up against. And not saying that he can't do a job from the start, but I think that role of him coming off the bench is best suited for him right now, because that game, when he came off the bench versus All Blacks in Wellington, he was outstanding. So let's keep him like that. Good to see Morne van den Berg get a couple of minutes as well, or get an opportunity. There's a little niggle to Grant Williams, so Van den Berg comes on the bench. Hopefully he gets some good minutes as well. Kobus Reinach was unbelievable versus the All Blacks in Wellington. It's almost say whoever played that game, everyone was good there because of that scoreline and how they performed. But hopefully Morne van den Berg gets a good 30 to 20 minutes in the back end of the game to see how he goes. You've got Andre Esterhuizen that can come on and cover centre, flank if he needs to. Kwagga Smith, obviously on the bench. You know what he brings. RG Snyman brings that good ball carries as well, getting through tackles, getting the little offload going. And then Boan Venter, Jan-Hendrik Wessels. Jan-Hendrik Wessels moves from prop to reserve hooker. And you've got Venter and Wilco Low covering the front row. Very strong side. Like I said, if they can perform half as well as they did versus the All Blacks in Wellington, this team will beat pretty much anyone. But all we need from the Bokke here is consistency. All we need from any team in the Rugby Championship is consistency. Let's be honest. Because one week you're winning, you're playing really well. The next week you get beat. So whoever can back up 2 wins here is probably going to win. And with that, some bonus points, some tries, some points difference. So you can help yourself on the ladder because how close the Rugby Championship has been this year. But Springboks, with this team and how we know they can play in Durban versus Los Pumas, I'm going Springboks. I'm going Springboks to win pretty comfortably here. I'm going to go 15 points to the Springboks. But then firstly, it's can they back up their performance from that game versus the All Blacks in Wellington? Can they do that here? And then next week, where they play Los Pumas again in London at Twickenham, can they back it up again? That's the big questions. We need consistency. Whoever is consistent first in the Rugby Championship this year is going to win it. It's coming down to the wire, and we absolutely love it. What do you guys think of this team? How do you see the game playing out? Who do you see winning the Rugby Championship from here? Let me know in the comments. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. Bye.